know I call you off everything, right? So let me tell y'all what happened. Guess what time it is, y'all? Story time. So mind you, so I met Shorty a couple days ago, whatever. So Shorty texted my phone like, "Oh, what's good with you?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I just, whatever. I was handling some business." He's like, "Oh, let's do lunch." I'm like, "All right, cool." So he being smart with it. He's like, "I know you got that footwork on. So what sneakers you got on?" I'm like, "Boy, shut up." He's like, "No, what you got on?" I'm like, "I got on my white dope dealers or whatever." He's like, "Oh, okay." It's like funny as fuck. I got on my white on whites. I'm like, "Now listen. Anybody who knows me knows the Boston bitch in me is like, if he got one of them white on whites and they fresh and ain't no creases, he could get some Bucci Cat or whatever. Like, come around trying to play up in the Bucci Cat. Like, I mean, I ain't saying like it's easy, but you gonna want some fresh white on whites with no creases. We can talk. All right, so fast forward. I pulls up, it's man hard outside, so of course I got the windows up in the AC on, whatever, so he got his window AC, so boom, boom, boom. So we get out the car, and he's like, "Oh, you going on the whites with the motherfucking colored check?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Come in real close. I look the fuck down, and then I look back up, like, I might. Needless to say, never ever, ever the fuck again. Why? Do you really want to know why? Do you really want to know why? Bitch, let me fucking tell you, when this nigga said white on whites, he meant white on white felines. Did you hear me for the ones in the back? White on white feelers. Feeler, feli, felia, for fucking nigga that would some fucking felines on, whatever you want to fucking call them. Motherfucking white on white feline. Excuse me. It would behoove you not to wear motherfucking feelers. And ain't nothing wrong with some feelers, because I'ma get me some Patrick Ewings, some purples, some reds, some oranges. But they the Ewings. Like, you got on the white on white feelers. Like, you play tennis? Like, if you play tennis, okay, cool. Like, but that's your fit? That's your fit? Now listen. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not vain, but I'm vain. But I'm not vain, but I'm vain, but I'm not vain, but I'm slightly vain. One of my feelings in 21, and then you was talking like, "Yeah, goddamn, one of my," I'm making Air Forces. Like, nigga, I'm from Boston. Like, when you say white on whites, like, we think forces. Like, I guess from there on, when I'm discussing footwork, I have to ask for clarity, because white on whites clearly ain't the motherfucking same everywhere. Cause in Boston, white on whites, Air Forces. Baltimore, white on white, Air Forces. White on white dopes, dope dealers. Him, white on whites, feli.